John Chapman had no idea when he dreamed a dream what a profound effect it would have on his life and the life of his village. John Chapman was a peddler to trade. He lived in the village of Swaffham in Norfolk. Every day he would go out with his backpack on his back, his dog by his side, selling his wares. He would go and find pots to mend, things to sell. Sometimes a young lady would come up to him and ask about a kerchief he had in his backpack, and he said, "Try it on." She said, "How much is it?" He said, 2 pence. "Oh, I can't afford that." "Oh," he said, "but it looks so good around your neck. You keep it. Come back and give me the money when you can." Many a boy went home with a penny whistle that they couldn't afford because John Chapman said, "You make a wonderful tune with that penny whistle. Come back when you have the penny that it costs." And so he lived a hand-to-mouth existence, but he was happy enough. Long days meant early nights. He fell exhausted into sleep. On one night he dreamed a dream. "John Chapman, arise, go to the city of London and stand on London Bridge, and you will find something to your advantage." London Bridge? London Bridge was 3 days' march. He ignored his dream. The second night came. He dreamed that dream. "John Chapman, come to London Bridge. You'll find something to your advantage." Too far to go. Not enough time. On the third night, when the dream came, he thought, "I have to go to London." He made the arrangements to travel to London. He had no money to spend on lodgings. He slept in ditches. And on the third day he arrived at London Bridge. You should have seen it. So different from Swaffham. There were shops down either side of the bridge. You could see great sailing ships sailing along the River Thames. The hustle, the bustle. What a place. He stood on the bridge and waited. But nothing happened. The next day, he walked up and down. But nothing happened. He would give it one more day before he went home. One more day. On the third day, he was standing, surveying the scene, thinking how different it would be when he went back home, when a merchant came out of his shop and approached him. "Excuse me, sir, why are you standing here? I've seen you here every day for the last 3 days. You don't sell wares, you don't beg for alms. Why are you here?" "Oh," said John Chapman, "I had a dream. My dream told me to come to London town. My dream told me to stand on London Bridge." "You came here for a dream?" "Why, I had a dream the other day. I dreamed if I went to Swaffham, I think that's in Norfolk, I could go behind the house of a certain peddler, and there in the orchard there would be a huge oak tree. If I were to dig under that oak tree, I would find a great treasure. But I'm not foolish. I wouldn't follow a dream. Go back to your home, young man. Go back. Go about your business." John Chapman smiled. "I will," he said. "I'll go back home." And he did. Faster than he arrived back home. He took a spade, took it into the back garden where the orchard and that huge oak tree, and he began to dig. And he dug and dug and cook. Under his spade was a box. He pulled it out. He opened it up. And there, before his eyes, silver coins. Enough to keep him in luxury for the rest of his life. But John Chapman wasn't that sort of man. He kept enough for himself, but the rest he gave away to his neighbours in need. One thing that fascinated him was the box, the lid. It had an inscription which he couldn't read. But he took it and he put it in his window and left it there in case somebody could tell him what it said. As luck would have it, 2 days later a priest came by, and seeing the inscription he said to John Chapman, "What's this you've got in your window? It's Latin." "Oh," said John, "can you read it for me? Can you tell me what it says?" "It says, 'Under me lies a greater treasure.'" "Ah," said John, "thank you." He took up his spade and he went back to the tree and dug and dug and dug. And sure enough, a small box lay at his feet. He picked it up, and when he opened it, you'd be amazed. Jewellery, gold, precious jewels. Enough to keep him in luxury for the rest of his life. But he was John Chapman. He kept enough to keep him well for the rest of his life. He gave some to his neighbours in need. And he gave the rest to the church in Swaffham, which was in need of repair. If you go there, you'll see his statue. Backpack on his back, dog by his side. John Chapman had a dream. His dream benefited the whole of Norfolk, and specifically Swaffham. Go there, you can see him.